Hey guys, we're going to talk about trustworthiness. There's a couple different character traits that are super important, and this one to me is the most important. When I am with someone and I know that they are trustworthy, or I can trust them and they are honest, I want to be their friend. I will tell them things that allow me to be vulnerable because I know that they're not going to tell people. I will give them things that are valuable to me because I know they're going to respect me and respect what I give them, because they're not going to steal things or they're not going to take from me. So honestly, truthfulness and honesty, those are like the same thing, is to me the greatest character trait to have. I mean, they're all of the 6 that we're going to talk about to me are super important, but this one is like really hits home for me. I've lived in a life of certain people that weren't truthful, and it's really hard. It's really hard to be friends with them because you just never know what's real. So for the first question I'm going to ask you all is, do you believe that there is ever a situation in which lying is acceptable? Do you believe that it's okay to lie? Do you believe that, I'm kind of honest? Is there such a thing as kind of honest? So think about that for a second, because I'm going to answer what I think. But those are some things to think about, because in other areas of building character, we learn. So we learn to be better at certain things. We learn to be a better citizen. We learn to be more responsible. We learn to be more respectful. But when it comes to truthfulness, yes, we learn to do it. But at the same time, you all know that when you have a friend that backstabs you, or a friend that lies to you, or a friend that isn't honest, like instantly you go from trusting to not trusting that person again, because you've been burned. And so, I go back to that question: is there ever an opportunity or ever a time for lying? And I think when you think about the motive, so what that word means is, what is your heart? What is your heart actually feeling or meaning behind it? So for instance, I love this one because when I get it, people are like, well, I think the only time you don't lie is when somebody comes in with an outfit and it looks really bad and you say, oh, it looks great. The question would be, then what is your motive? Maybe part of your motive is you don't want to hurt their feelings, but really the motive is, I don't want to hurt their feelings, but I also don't want to tell them they don't look good because then I look like a jerk. But in reality, if they walk out the door and they don't look good, or they've got their sweatshirt tucked into their spandex and their underwear are showing, or they have toilet paper coming out of their pants, like, that's embarrassing. Do you really want a friend doing that? And so I look at my sisters, and this is how I always dealt with it, and I think this is appropriate, is because it sucks telling people that their outfits don't look good. You don't have to do it mean. You can do it gracefully. They walk in the door, how do I look today? Honestly, it's not my favorite outfit. I like this one better. You see how easy that was? You told them the truth. They know that in any situation, I can come to you and get a real answer, not an answer of, oh yeah, you look good. Because realistically, if somebody tells me I look good every time I ask them, do I really trust that they're giving me an honest answer? No. So the other one I hear too is birthday parties. What about a surprise birthday party? Well, the motive of your heart. So the meaning behind telling someone, or if someone asks you, are they planning a surprise birthday party? First of all, is very few and far between that is the actual scenario. Usually our lying is in so many other multitudes and areas, but not this. So when we're asked those questions about surprise birthdays, the motive of our heart is to make them be surprised in a good way. There's nothing bad with the motive of your heart. Okay, they're going to find out also. They're going to find out the truth in an hour, and 3 hours, and 4 hours, and you're not keeping something from them long term. When you tell someone that they look good and they don't, your motives are to protect your own self from looking like a jerk, and they're never going to know the truth unless someone tells them they look bad. So understand, to me, the motives, the reasons. So motives and reasons, the reasons behind doing something, and how it may or may not affect you. We are selfish by nature. We do things to protect ourselves and to care about ourselves before anyone else, which I'm not fond of. I think if more people cared about other people, and put other people before themselves even, I think that we would live in a different world. So what are the motives of your heart? Are there any times that you think of that you're like, I think this is a situation that I don't think you need to be that honest about? Are you uncomfortable? Are the reasons that you lie because you're uncomfortable, because you don't like the consequences, or because you may look stupid? That's the reality. Those are typically the reasons we lie. Are those things? I don't want to have the consequences of this action. To be honest, usually the consequences are far worse when your parents or someone finds out that you were lying, instead of just coming forward and saying something. My favorite story. I love stories. There are two things that you'll learn if you're in my class, and it's harder when we're doing this over Zoom or over recording. But I love the word integrity. So integrity means when you do something when no one is around, and you do what is right. When you do what is right when no one is around. When no one even sees you do it, and you have the opportunity to do something wrong, but you choose to do something right when no one's around. I had a class one time, and I gave them freedom. Instead of counting, I gave them freedom to do the workout by themselves. So after class, after that workout, I said, okay guys, I need you to right now. I had basically an integrity lesson in PE. I stopped them and I said, I need you to, I'm giving you the opportunity, if you did not do every single one that I asked you to do, I need you to get down and do them right now. And I had about half the class do them. And I look at that situation, like, because they had not had integrity. They did not do them the initial time. And it was so awesome to see them come back and have integrity. And that's the thing, people learn, people grow. Giving people the opportunity to do what's right, I think, is really important. But integrity, doing what is right when no one is looking, is really important to me. We all have those people that were like, oh, I can trust them. They never lie to me. They're always honest. I can trust them. I have two nieces with my little sister. She has two little girls, and they're 6 and 8 at this time. And one of them, like, literally, she's never lied ever. Like, it's not in her to lie. She can't do it. She, like, cannot say a lie, even if it may hurt someone's feelings. But she's so kind. She always thinks about other people first. She's like the most selfless human being there is. Her sister, on the other hand, I love dearly. Amazing girl. She is not always truthful. And so there's a situation, and they are mad at each other, and Libby ends up coming in the room, bawling. They're both bawling, and my sister Rachel's like, what just happened? And Juby's like, Libby punched me such and such times. I don't remember. It was a lot of times. And Rachel's like, whoa, that doesn't sound like Libby. So she goes in the room. She's like, Libby, did this happen? And what's the scenario? Well, come to find out, Juby was punched, kind of deserving. But Libby, my sister's like, Libby, did you punch Juby 8 times? And Libby looks at mom and she goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I punched her 9 times. And not in a prideful way, but in a, like, I'm being honest, that's how many times I punched her. Knowing that there were going to be consequences, she was still truthful and honest. And it's like, gosh, even when things she knows she's going to be consequenced for, she still is truthful. In the long term, no matter what, if there's a situation where those two have been, in battles, you can't help but look at them and say, oh, Libby said this has to be the truth. And that's the reality. Is we look at friends, we look at people around us, and if we know someone has always been truthful with us, then you can believe that when it comes down to it, your character and the person that you are will rise above others because you have shown to be truthful and honest. So to me, yeah, we talked about this for 10 minutes. But this being truthful, being honest, is so important. It's always important. It's like, really, in the world we live in, it's like, and not white lies. Like, white lies are still lies. They have the word lie behind them. So be honest, be truthful. Don't spread rumors. Don't spread lies. Be honest with your parents, regardless of consequences. Be honest with people regardless of consequences, and it's gonna go a long way for you.